Before we even begin, please allow me to apologize up front for the slightly longer length and more defensive tone of this presentation, for there has been some really wild statements made about chlorine dioxide and its real versus potential hazards that simply must be addressed openly and pointedly. All over the internet, you will find some unwise and rather uneducated claims being made on both sides of this topic. Is chlorine dioxide safe for use in my home, around my family, my pets, in my car, and on my body? Now, I am not a doctor, nor do I even play one on TV, so I will only address uses as it relates to the cleaning of surfaces, air, and water. I will speak to the subject of safety and harm as it relates to the applicator and occupants. I will not be speaking to what it can do or not do as an oral or topical treatment. So, now that I have said all of that, let's begin to get some of the facts straight and give you some real data and guidelines from the appropriate government agencies, comparing these to real-life applications to the full range of our products. First off, we use two terms when speaking of chlorine dioxide: ACD, aqueous chlorine dioxide, and VCD, vaporous chlorine dioxide. We never ship either liquids or gas. We only ship tablets, granules, or powders that are precursors and can be used to generate aqueous CD solutions or vaporous CD at your location. Now, this is very important. All guidelines and recommendations from the CDC, NIOSH, the EPA, the FDA, and OSHA only address one or the other of two occurrences: inhalation, the occupational or accidental breathing in of ClO2, and digestion when using ClO2 to purify water. They offer no other guidance concerning the use of ACD, aqueous CD solutions, when used as a cleaner, a deodorizer, a sanitizer, or disinfectant. We can only conclude that this is because there is no notable hazard associated with these applications unique to this type of solution. So, now, let's focus on where so many people are so dreadfully confused, making wild statements about the potential of explosion from ClO2 vapors, how its hazard levels should turn anyone away from considering it for either small or large-scale deodorizing applications, and how using ClO2 is a risk of life and limb if used to purify water. Here are just a few. Chlorine dioxide gas cannot be contained safely. Any release is catastrophic. Even tiny amounts of ClO2 in drinking water cause cancer or high-level poisoning. Chlorine dioxide exposure immediately causes severe long-term damage, even at trace levels. Authorities call ClO2 bleach, so any exposure, even during safe use, is lethal. We'll consider each of these statements individually and show you how dreadfully wrong they are. Number 1, a risk of explosion. The EPA is very clear on this. Concentrations of ClO2 above 10% or 100,000 ppm of the total volume of air can be explosive. Fact: the air we breathe is nearly 21% oxygen. An increase of just 2.7% more oxygen will make even everyday air, and many things in it, combustible or explosive. Adding to this, a 10% concentration of ClO2 makes the air more oxygen-rich and hence hazardous. Fact: even in our highest concentrations, addressing the toughest of odor issues, we do not enrich the air with more than 4 ppm of ClO2 or an increase of 0.0004%. That is 99.99996% wiggle room between us and a risk of explosion. Number 2, containment. It has been said that chlorine dioxide gas cannot be contained safely. Any release is catastrophic. Fact: this statement is both patently untrue and is presented as though ClO2 gas must be generated industrially and transported in its gaseous form. Fact: we always generate ClO2 on-site and transport the dry precursors in the form of safely packaged tablets, powders, and granules. When a tablet or powder is added to water, the natural salts and organic acids react to create the exact same gas that is contained within our own white blood cells. To suggest that even the gas cannot be contained safely is to deny the very genius of our body's microbial defense systems. Number 3, poisonous. It has been said that even tiny amounts of ClO2 in drinking water cause cancer or high-level poisoning. Fact: ClO2 has been used for nearly 200 years for the purification of drinking water. It is more effective, more efficient, and far less hazardous than bleach. It can safely be generated on-site at water treatment facilities, where bleach must be transported. It creates no hazardous byproducts, as does bleach, and is far less harmful in your laundry, shower, and drinking water than bleach. This is why the WHO refers to it as the perfect biocide. Fact: the NSF and the EPA state that concentrations of up to 0.8 ppm can be used to purify water safely and efficiently. The only reason why bleach is more commonly used in this industry is due to its lobby and political clout, not because it is the safer choice. Number 3. Confusion. Authorities call ClO2 bleach, so any exposure, even during safe use, is lethal. Fact: if bleach is lethal, why is it used for water treatment? Fact: chlorine dioxide, ClO2, is not the same as household bleach, sodium hypochlorite. Both are strong oxidizers, but bleach is a caustic alkaline liquid that can corrode and leave harmful byproducts, while chlorine dioxide is a neutral gas used in controlled dilute solutions that disinfect without forming the same byproducts. Now, let's talk briefly about our granular products for the release of ClO2. We are a big proponent of using granules and gels to release concentrations of ClO2 into air spaces. These mimic the technique our odor pros professionals use when removing odors from homes, autos, boats, and RVs, but at a constant and extremely low dose. The EPA's AEGLs, Acute Exposure Guideline Limits, state that one can safely be exposed around the clock to air concentrations of 0.15 ppm of ClO2. As previously stated, our professionals work at concentrations of 1 to 3 of ClO2 gas. So, at 0.015 ppm, it is completely indiscernible. And yet a 2016 study by Ogata demonstrated that chlorine dioxide gas at 0.01 to 0.03 ppm levels were considered non-toxic, unnoticeable, and yet significantly inactivated airborne bacteria and viruses, markedly reducing microbial counts after 120 minutes. Furthermore, in a hospital operating room environment, even surface bacteria were reduced by 80+% over a 24-hour period. To put it simply, the steady release of low concentrations of ClO2 can have a lasting effect on both the air quality and the microbial loads and growth on surfaces. So, there you have it. Chlorine dioxide products from EnviroTab and Odor Pros deliver a safer and more natural alternative to the sanitation of surfaces, the purification of water, and the provision of a clean air environment once you cut through the ignorant chatter being bandied about by the proponents of more hazardous, less defensible, and significantly more expensive methods. I just want to say thank you for staying with me through this long presentation. And should you have any question that were not covered or for which you are having trouble finding an answer, just drop us a quick note at info@Synergy-Americas.com and we'll do our best to get right back to you.